Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. I've been seeing a lot of requests for some sort of Splatoon series or thing. I don't know what you guys are talking about. As far as I can tell, no Splatoon scenario exists, and I tried looking on Steam as well, and I still couldn't find it, so I have no idea what you're talking about. So let's instead move on to one of the other most popular scenarios that is being played right now that I have not tried, Alien Hive Mind. I feel like we've done a lot of Alien or Hive-related things lately, but apparently this is not one of them, not one of the ones that I've done, and I think it's one of the most played scenarios on Steam right now, so we're gonna give it a shot. By Trevor, whoa. I don't know if I added enough woes or maybe too many. I don't know. You tell me. You are an alien parasite which crash landed on Earth. Your goal: upgrade these puny humans and turn them into a partial hive mind ready for interstellar travel. Kind of looks like the weird little worm from that Flash game. I don't remember what it was called though. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. The one that kind of absorbed creatures, took their powers. I should remember by its name, but I'm blanking on it right now. Features questionable scientific terminology. Yay! Alien parasites, weird stuff. Stuff that's probably been done better in other scenarios. Aw, don't sell yourself short like that, man. Come on. Terrible puns. Oh, you know I love those terrible puns. Even worse, forced references, and some events that are kinda crazy. Okay, you've got me. Let's go for the Neurax worm. ATP boost Darwinist, Terracite, Extremophile, and Symptostasis seem fine to me. Hivus Mindus. That is terrible Latin, but okay, we'll go with it. Alien parasite seeking a host to create a hive mind. Humans seem like the perfect candidate. Choose where the hive mind will start. Hive mind, where everyone has to be exactly the same. Where would that be? I probably don't want to make any sort of, political reference here, do I? Let's just start off in Saudi Arabia, as we often do. No one can possibly get mad about that, right? Transmission, we can start with Charitable Collective. Who says the hive mind can help out and infect people? Increases effectiveness in poor countries and a chance of plane hopping. Okay, air transmission, pretty useful. It's hip to be indoctrinated. Oh yes, turn it into a trend and you'll see how many people flock to your banner. It's cool to be part of the collective consciousness thing. Increases effectiveness for richer countries as well as overall infectivity. Amphibious worms. Worms can survive for long periods in water. And gliding worms. They gain the ability to fly through the air. May also latch on to bears. Bears? Birds. Birds and bears. Not even remotely the same thing. Okay, so this is land transmission. And I'm guessing arid? Or something like that versus water. Let's start with gliding worms, because I imagine that's going to be good in Saudi Arabia. Winged worm. I believe I can fly. Well, the worm can. Grows insect-like wings and can fly short distances. It's not really much of a worm at that point now, is it? But okay. Symptoms. Intelligence Collective. Host receives increased mental capacity. Side effects include slight smarminess, as well as coming off cold. Oh, that sounds like me. Abilities. Zoonotic shifts. Increased research speed. Infect creatures other than humans. Probably opens up new transmission options. Might not even be a bad thing to unlock, just for more variability. And of course we have our drug resistance, which is galactic in this case. Harden itself for many interstellar travels. Some drugs seem universal. Increases effectiveness in wealthy countries. We have heat resistance and we have cold resistance. The normal stuff. I'm going to go ahead and unlock Zoonotic Shift and let's see what it unlocks. Livestock and insect arachnid infection. Okay, that all seems pretty normal. Nothing too crazy. How many times can I click on the darn OK button and then nothing happens? Or did I just miss all of those times? In which case, that's just downright embarrassing. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and grab the winged worm. Just because, Saudi Arabia being the hot, arid country that it is, air transmission usually ends up being a pretty good thing. Goldman Stanley Bank Crisis. When can I turn those things off? Is that even an option? I haven't checked to see if I can turn those things off. Extra pop-ups. No. Pity mode? What the heck is pity mode? Unlock the next disease type by winning on casual instead of normal difficulty. Huh. I didn't even know that was a thing. Has nothing to do with this scenario. But the things you learn. Let's go for the Charitable Collective. Spread a little bit faster to our neighboring poor regions, work our way through India and Southeast Asia, Africa, stuff like that. You know how this works. You're smart people, you've watched enough of these scenarios by now. It is hip to be indoctrinated. Do we want to go for the richer countries? We haven't gone to the richer countries yet, so maybe we want to go for some amphibious worms first. I'm not going to worry about it until we get to Europe, probably. I mean, yeah, it is hip to be indoctrinated. Come on. That's, actually, well, you know what? I was about to go down another political joke, and you know what? I'm gonna stick away from that one. Let's go for the impoverished countries once again. I know. It may seem a little bit cowardly, but considering how often YouTube has been demonetizing my videos lately, I've gotten like 16 demonetizations in the last month, which is not as bad as some people, but it's pretty bad for me, considering I never used to get any. It's all the new algorithm. Anyway, anytime I do something even mildly controversial, such as play a game themed in a war zone, like this war of mine, I mean, I can't help that war is in the title. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to call it this non-controversial scenario of mine? I don't know, but anyway. So making jokes that are slightly political in nature, mocking certain peoples or mentalities or ideologies, probably would not go over very well with YouTube right now, and believe it or not, I mean, I'd like to get a paycheck. So, there you go, guys. You are welcome to write YouTube and say this is stupid. I will support you. Deja vu. Host knows who else has been infected, will involuntarily be more friendly towards them, and will attempt to get uninfected to interact with them. A little bit of severity is probably a good thing right now. I could use some more DNA from the red bubbles. Calmness, serotonin levels are controlled by the parasite, leading to the host feeling calmer. Despite everything. It doesn't seem like anything bad has been happening thus far. May take more calm walks. Or, accentuation. Certain parts of the host's body may increase in size to attract uninfected towards them. I'm sorry, really? If this is going where I think it's going, really? In which case, shouldn't that increase severity pretty substantially? I have no idea. Let's go for calmness. This leads to tired soul. The parasite puts strain on the host, making them feel more tired. Slightly reduces infectivity, but decreases future research speed. That could be useful to me, I suppose. We'll grab that. And then brain folding. Host's brain folds in on itself to make more room for the new cranium matter. I don't think that's how it works, but okay. Mild headaches and memory loss may occur. To prepare, don't question it. Oh, well, okay. Since you said that, I guess I won't question it. We'll just move on and pretend that nothing happens. Human disease has been spreading. Let's go for that drug resistance. You know that we need that. I'm gonna go to New Zealand. New Zealand has been a bane of mine recently. I'm gonna go for it's hip to be indoctrinated, make sure we have a little bit more wealthy transmission. Good so far. Saudi Arabia starts working on the cure because they don't think it's hip to be indoctrinated. What do you know? Hive book. Oh, instead of Facebook. I guess you could almost argue that in a way, social media and the internet has been moving us closer to a collective consciousness than ever before. So yeah, this is the next logical step. Infected sets up groups on social media websites, increases infectivity in wealthier countries. I kind of regret getting both of these. I don't feel like either of these were really useful. Let's go for the Hive book. These are still locked, so I'm not sure how we unlock them. Let's go for brain folding for the extra severity. Then we have multitasking. Host is more easily able to do multiple things at a time, which I have heard is totally a myth and not true. I don't know. I used to think that my brain kind of worked on two different things in parallel fairly well. One of the reasons that I'm able to play a video game and make commentary at roughly the same time. Maybe not at peak efficiency in either case, but it's still passable. But I've been told that that's just not true. It's just your brain switching between the two very, very quickly. I don't know. More able to impress people, increasing possible interaction with them. Sure, super effective. Well, thank you, social media. We got around pretty quick. Fragility. The worm digs deeper, and the host's strength is compromised. Small chance of death from small accidents, wisdom at a price and all that. I'm gonna go for accentuation anyway, and we're gonna grab drug resistance level 2. We could get cranium burrowing, which is new. Parasite burrows deeper into the skull, reducing infectivity, but making it harder to extract for examination. I'm guessing that is a form of genetic reshuffle, but it also loses infectivity, which is kind of a cool trade-off, not gonna lie. What else are we missing in the world right now? Iceland is missing, and a lot of Europe. Well, let's just go to Iceland. We can go ahead and knock that down. Get some cold transmission, or resistance, I should say. Do we want fragility? I guess we'll go for fragility. That leads to preparation. The brain grows in size after having shrunk due to the brain folding. May cause death in some weaker-minded people. Well, I guess we should probably wait until we've infected a bit more. Hivus Mindus has been placed on the watch list. It sounds like a bad Harry Potter spell. That's all it is. More cold resist. Transmission? Let's go for the arachnids. Worms, eggs, unalleged insects, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't really know why I want to get these right now. I'm assuming this is better for rural areas, and this is... I have no idea. Maybe urban? I don't know. That doesn't seem to do a whole lot for me. Could go for that extra lethality, I suppose. And yeah, let's go ahead and start ramping it up. We've gotten into almost every country in the world, and we have Trojan plains for the rest. Baltic states and Morocco. World Cup has been cancelled due to Hive Mindus. And Turkey begins to break down. Still missing the Baltic states. Oops. I keep double-clicking. Keep double-clicking for some reason. It's bothering me. How is this happening? I think my mouse is starting to fail. That's what it is. Absolutely. The Awakening. The partial hive mind is fully realized. We have a huge intelligence spike. Grab. Reduces lethality, actually. Alienification. Changes host's skin color to a deep turquoise. What? Why are we turning turquoise? Further differentiating from the uninfected, unlocks the evolutions to make the humans into aliens. Turquoise aliens. What a very exotic color. Universal translation. No matter what, the host can interpret any language, hearing it as their own. More friendliness between infected and more coordination. Sounds pretty good. Combined intelligence. Hosts have all the knowledge of every other host at a moment's notice, allowing more coordination between them. And warmed soul. Host becomes more friendly, due to the parasite unraveling itself slightly to allow further changes. Hosts don't come off as cold as before. Doesn't seem to do a lot. I'm going to go for the combined intelligence. That leads to telepathy, so we can now read thoughts between each other. We really are getting linked up, aren't we? Let's go for universal translation. That's alien language. Infected are now perfectly fluent in a language specifically created for them by the parasite. Greater coordination between them is achieved. I'm trying to decide which one leads to the victory, because they seem to be diverging in their direction quite a bit. How do we win this? Somewhere there is going to be probably one... Well, the hive mind has awoken. Hive Mindus has now activated the true powers of the hive mind. Be wary, as the true form of the hive mind shows itself, new powers and worries will follow it. I don't know. I'm assuming that there's going to be sort of a transcendence symptom somewhere, but maybe it's coded into the scenario that as soon as everyone gets infected, you automatically win, because that would make sense, right? So I guess we'll find out. Let's turn everyone turquoise. It's surprisingly severe. People notice when your skin turns blue. Alien blood changes the host's blood to a dark blue. Whilst more noticeable, can mix with normal blood without clotting, increases infectivity. Extra eyes. Whoa. The host gains an extra pair of eyes, are now perpetually 4 eyes. Much harder to cure. No. Tongue-tied. Host tongue becomes accustomed to taste alien foods, becoming forked akin to a snake. Parasite eggs can now also survive in host saliva. What? Increasing infectivity. You got eggs in your spit? That's incredibly gross. Let's go for tongue-tied. Quiet aerobosity. Or aerobicity? I've never seen that word before. Infected can now breath through their skin. Death by suffocation no longer possible, and can now partially survive in the vacuum of space. There's a little misspellings here and there, but otherwise not a big deal. I guess we go for alien language that leads to alien knowledge. Parasite shares with host wisdom that it has picked up from its travels. Leads to alien technology being made on Earth, tempting the uninfected to join. I guess we'll grab that. We have no lethality now. That means a little bit less DNA, but we'll see what happens. The fear of the hive mind taking over leads to a mass witch hunt. Many of the infected die, but not without getting the last laugh. It doesn't look like a lot of people died in France, so... I mean, as far as a percentage of population, that's pretty good. Zimbabwe is now trying to purge people. It's rude, you shouldn't do things like that. Let's go for telepathy. Telekinesis? Move stuff with your mind. Mainly for the unenlightened for acceptance, whether they want to or not. Okay, sure, we'll grab that. That leads to mental barrier. Host is able to shield itself from the world using a mental force field, negates the fragility they may have gained. Doesn't seem to do a lot. Some of these don't seem to have any stat increases, so I don't know how relevant they are to winning the scenario. Let's go for alien blood. Leads to extra arms. Okay, we can have extra eyes and extra arms. Are we turning into, like, octopi? Little blue octopi thingies? Certainly feels like it. I'm gonna me get a level of heat resistance, because we're having some trouble in places like Morocco, and let's just sort of sit back and see what happens. The warmed soul has mutated. Oh yeah, that's one thing I hadn't really thought about, is we don't have much in the way of mutation in this particular scenario. One of the infected in Libya has donated blood recently, and the parasite has spread throughout all the other blood donations. Aha! And that's why I don't accept donated blood. No, if I were in a dangerous situation, I'm sure that I would. In an attempt to infiltrate the infected's areas, some resistant members have painted their skin turquoise to blend in. It worked, however, due to prolonged contact with them, they became infected, which became clear when they tried to wash it off. You sure it wasn't when the voices started speaking in their heads? I would have thought that was going to be a thing, but okay. Increased empathy, could be okay. Let's grab that. Persuasion. Hosts make sure the uninfected have no qualms with joining. Okay, now we're being nice. We're not trying to force it upon anybody. Let's go for this. Longevity assuration. The host's organs are replaced with much higher quality alien organs before we even have any eyes or limbs or anything. Reduces lethality. Not that I have any right now. Let's go for extra eyes and arms, make it harder to cure. No longer human. Host no longer thinks themselves as human, transformed into this far superior alien state. We'll grab that, I guess. Siren Song. Using their new language and the inflections from their new tongues, the infected have started singing to lure out the humans. Like mermaids sitting on the rock, and we think that they're cute and that they are lovely. But really, they're trying to lure us to our death, to get shattered on the rocks, and then they drown us in the ocean. That's how it works. That's what a siren is. Mermaids are evil. Infected are no longer human. Hive Mindus has turned the infected now fully into a completely different species. The world hurries to try and find a cure, their drive reinvigorated. Is it worth it, though? You might as well just accept your new existence. That's what I have to say. Company for the night. In return for joining the hive mind, some humans ask their host to be companion for the night. But themselves getting infected due to the prolonged contact with the hosts. Huh? I'm not sure. They joined the hive, aren't they automatically? I'm a little confused on that one. But that could just be because I'm stupid. It's been known to happen on a rare occasion. China is surprisingly resilient to the hive mind. I should have gone straight for the premiere. Infected the People's Party. That would have worked. Then they all would have had to join. Absolutely. Let's go for longevity, let's go for the mental barrier, and that's pretty much it. So what's really interesting about the scenario is it feels like the infectivity went up and then went down, now it's going back up again. Like the stats are not staying constant, whether that be severity, lethality, or infectivity. There's a constant trade-off going on here, which is surprisingly interesting. Let's go for the cranium burrowing. That unlocks cure protests, specific incubation, counter movement. Infected set up labs to counter the cure. Huh. Useful, I suppose. What's left? Oh, Iceland hasn't been fully infected. Well, they're almost there. Hive Mindus is controlling you. So I don't really see a whole lot about actually creating as much of like a devastating hive mind as much as just turning us into alien beings. But I guess, no, you know what, I've been focusing on that a lot lately. But once you focus on combined intelligence and telepathy and stuff like that, I guess we are kind of there. Interesting. There are no healthy people left in the world. I assume victory is mine? There we go. The world has been enlightened. The entire world has been infected. Soon they will be able to finally get off their puny planet and establish at the very least a solar system spanning colony. The last few humans have accepted their fate and are welcomed with opened arms. Many opened arms, because these new beings have too many of them. Very disconcerting. The world has been enlightened. Congratulations, you win. Alright, 520 days, so a little on the slower side, but not too bad. Huh. It's actually a pretty fun scenario there. I'm trying to think of anything to really criticize, besides a couple of little spelling and grammar errors. Not a lot. Was it really unbalanced? No, I don't think so. I mean, that's the thing. It's actually really impressive to me that you had a scenario where the stats kept shifting so much, infectivity, severity, lethality, and yet, nowhere along the way would I say that it was incredibly unbalanced. That's actually kind of impressive. Not easy to do. Not easy to do at all. Yeah. I'm a little confused about where the blue alien stuff comes in. You know, worms burrowing into our brains and turning us into a hive collective so that we try to get off our planet and stuff makes sense, but why do we have to change into blue aliens? That I don't know. And it's not that it's wrong, it's that it makes me wonder if there's like a pop culture reference in here that I'm not getting. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Either way, though, pretty fun scenario. Well done. What was your name? Something whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know. I won't bother trying to find it again because I'm sure it won't pop up, but thank you very much. Good scenario. All right. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to hit that like button if you did, leave a comment with your suggestions, and of course subscribe if you have not already. I, as always, will see you guys next time.